Erica, and the recording has started. Just to let the audience know, we have two members of the board on virtual, Randy Bates and Wayne McGill. Everybody else is here. Cheryl, turn it over to you.
Okay, I will call the meeting to order. I want to welcome everybody. Next up would be approval of minutes. I hope that everybody had a chance to read them. I didn't see anything that needed to be corrected or amended, but someone else did, let us know.
Make a motion to approve the meetings, minutes from December meeting.
Okay, that's a disjointed voice of Randy, right? Okay, yes. Okay, so I'd like to second, thanks, Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I think we have no audience comments once again.
No, we did not receive any emails. They was posted on the website on Friday.
Yeah. All righty. It was a confusing weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, election of officers for 2023.
If you'd like, I could run the
Yes.
chairman. We have openings for officers. The officers are the chair, vice chair, and secretary treasurer. The current chair is Cheryl Graff Tamolo. The current vice chair is Ray Akabuchi, and the current secretary treasurer is Randy Bates. Do I hear a nomination for chair?
I nominate Cheryl, chair.
A second.
We have a first and second. Any other nominations?
Motion to close the nominations.
We have a
Second.
motion to close nominations. All in favor?
All right.
Thank you.
We'll call that you're elected.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. All right,
Then it's yours. You can
okay,
take.
now I take
Yeah,
the.
you're back in chair.
The chair. Okay, well, the next office is vice chair and currently held by Ray Yakabuchi. And do I hear any nominations for vice chair?
I'll nominate Ray for vice chair.
Second.
Okay. Any other nominations? I'll move
Motion to close the nominations.
Okay, good, thank you.
Second.
All righty, and now we will take a vote for Ray for vice chair.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up is current secretary treasurer is Randy Bates. Congratulations. Randy Bates, I will hear nominations for secretary treasurer.
Make
I
a
would
motion
not-
to nominate Randy Bates.
I will second that. And do I hear any other nominations? Okay, I'll move to close the nominations. And someone second it. Thank you. Alrighty, all in favor of Randy? Say aye. Okay, yay.
And that being said, I guess it'd be wise for me to notify you all that Randy and Ray were both nominated to county council for reappointment, and county council made those reappointments. So they're both on for another 4 years.
Excellent. Okay,
Thank you, gentlemen.
okay, thank you. Alrighty. Next up is the correspondence and announcements for PACD. I always look at it, I look up for something that may be germane for us, but you have clean an eye on this.
Yeah, there was nothing that the actionable, some of the things that we will be talking about are on the agenda, so.
I noticed that they have a list of, their kind of promises for the next year.
Oh.
They will do this, they will do that.
I think Brenda Trambaugh is the current executive director, has been doing a very good job for
Yes,
us.
right.
Mhm.
So that's a good thing. And later on, we'll be addressing our dues to them, right?
Yes,
Yes, all right. Okay, so nothing much on the PACD. Oh, now I will entertain a motion to file all bank statements for audit. Or anything you'd like to explain or anything, Ed?
nothing unusual on there that I can, cannot see, but We are back up, and it's hard to judge because there's money coming in and money going out, money that needs to be transferred. We did get our end of the year allocations from the state, which will be held in our account until and we could make the transfer probably at the next meeting to the county treasury
Okay.
of some $45,000, I believe. Personal amount.
Okay. But take these separately, yes? No?
No, we just need to file for audit and everybody has
Okay, file all
access.
of these for
And
audit.
certainly if anybody has any questions.
Right, exactly.
What the bill is.
Any questions for Ed about this?
It's just the goal was that anything mass expense that we would have, such as over $200, that the board would know about it. Basically, just to reiterate, what we do is that any check over $500 needs 2 signatures, so those always come to the board between 0 and 500, then I'm authorized to write the check on my own. And that's why we show the ones for $200.
Okay. All righty. So who's going to make the motion? File all of these for audit.
Make the motion to file all the bills for audit.
Second.
Thank you, Randy. Seconded by Vince. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
You don't have to sit on the other side. Correct. Okay, next, emergency reviews. A motion to approve the deposit the following emergency review fees. Harvard Drive in Middletown and West Avenue in Springfield. So I would like to hear that as a motion to review the fees for the December.
Make a motion. Second.
Thank you both. All those in favor?
Aye.
Another motion request, we're full of motion. To pay the invoice from Buchler, Kelly and Irwin for accounting services for $1,100. Anyone would like to make a motion?
Make that motion.
Okay, thank you. Jessica.
Second.
Steve?
Just so for the board's knowledge, we do usually get these every 6 months, so annually we pay $2,200 on average to
Uh-huh.
them to run that. All our accounting, all through, we send them all the reports for all our check and deposits and withdrawals, and they insert them into QuickBooks and check it over and balance all our accounts.
Good thing.
Yeah.
Good service, isn't it?
Yes, they do.
Okay, all in favor of that one, we did that, okay, didn't we do all in favor? Yes? All in favor? Aye, okay. Next, a motion request to pay Milbourne Borough final payment for the low volume road project, 18. Well, entertain a motion to do that.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Steve.
Second.
Ready, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm glad that they finally rounded this up.
Yeah, they did a really
It's been going for a while.
Milburn maybe went on for about 2 years. They had a couple delays with construction. I think one of the manhole covers was corroded to the pipe, so they had to get another contractor in there to take that off and
Oh,
access the
yeah.
pipes underground. But they did a really great job overall.
It's nice to see things happening, you know, but
Yeah, they
small, but so,
Yep.
relatively passed over in many ways. So all were in favor of that one, right? Next up, motion request to pay Delaware County $775 to reimburse the Parks Department for mulch needed for Smedley Park.
Yeah, this was the one we had on the agenda a few months ago.
Right.
We finally got the invoice. The reason that we did it this way rather than just buying it ourselves was that Mark already had an agreement with the Parks Department to have delivery included with their order, so they were able to do it on a quick turnaround that we needed for the multifunction bumper project.
Excellent.
So I was working with county, and what we'll do is we'll give them, if we approve, then we'll get a check for $775 made out to Delaware County. They'll deposit it in somewhere in the parks budget, and then we will be reimbursed through the grant.
Okay, very good. That's another project that's moving along nicely, it seems to me. Okay. Alrighty, so I need a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to pay the county for mulch.
Okay, thank you, Randy. Second, okay, thank you, Vince. All in favor?
Aye.
There's a motion request to pay PACD their annual dues, $2,765. This is the dues from 2022 to 2023. And, you have any comment about this, Ed?
Yeah, the dues comes out in July, I believe. We've always paid it, the first of the year, and they're amenable to that. We have until June to pay it, but, the increase that they had a slight increase this year, I think it was $100. But it was, due to the lobbying that I was involved with them is to, that all the districts got a across the board increase rather than a percentage, because what was happening is that we were being charged, we were up in the highest class of counties. The original fee schedule was based on class of county, and we would be paying the same as some of the bigger counties. It just wasn't
They
fair.
have a lot more
So, yeah,
dollars,
so
yeah.
that stayed, but then from that point on, there was every fee increase that it had is the same.
Okay.
It doesn't keep changing, so I agree with that.
That's a good move.
Yeah, to stop it, yeah, for us, yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so I would like to hear a motion for that. They are due.
I'll make a motion.
Thanks, Vince.
Second.
Ray, second, already, all in favor? Okay, well, we're done.
Aye.
And I will then.
They're not signed, so.
If I do any good now, I'll do it.
The ATV, UTV purchase on there, but not, the next one, I should say, I'm sorry, the checks to be signed, we don't need to go over those again, I just put them there in the list.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll just need to remember to sign it too. Okay, and let's talk more about the ATV, UTV.
We
Been around.
went back and forth with
Yeah.
Elaine and with Francine about how to proceed, and I got a bid for an Intimidator, there's a dealer, Pro Sports or something like that in Melbourne. And it's going to be under 20, it's 19,200 or something, and what we did is we trying to order the base model. I took off the winch and some of the things just because of, it's gonna be more of an experiment.
This one's not going to be air conditioned, is it?
No, this is the base, this is basically the base model, and it's a very heavy duty, big unit. They're trying to find out how long the battery will be useful around. So no one has any good information on it, but it would definitely be excellent for what the purpose would. If it was at Rose Street, then there's always a place to plug it in.
Right.
But if there's not a place to plug it in within 3 or 4 hours, then it could be problematic. So we're gonna be learning from that because the park police want some too.
Right. Once it gets stuck out there, there we go. There's no way to retract it, is there? No.
Well, it takes a long time to charge, and that's the other thing. It
Oh.
takes 3.5 to 4 hours just to get a few miles more on it. But you can do it with a generator, and then we have that
Oh, good, good.
thinking about
In your
that.
mind, yeah, right, exactly. I would think you would think of those opportunities
Yeah.
for something to go wrong.
Yes, no, so I don't think that'll be a problem, but it'll be sort of an experiment and how well they can be used for and what the drawbacks are before the county goes and purchases. The park police need to have two, I think, for all the new trails and stuff that they were to be used on.
So the park police need to, and we will be able to share them with them.
We're gonna be sharing with the Parks Department, so that doesn't mean the county police can come and try it out to make sure, test it to see if they,
Out there
What they want.
roading.
but it was a really struggle. The county is very set in the idea of using electric. I mean, it would have been no problem to purchase a gas powered one. They didn't want diesel. They have a diesel one that they use on it.
So polluting, they would be against that.
Well, not only polluting it, when they started up in the county garage, they can't clear the smoke out for for hours. So that's why they didn't want that. But the electric one, I think it'll be pretty good. I've heard good reports on it. I've reviewed it. There are limitations, but we'll see how we can learn to use it effectively in our thing, in our efforts in our projects. Most of the parks will have electric at them eventually here, so I don't think it's gonna be insurmountable, but if any case, if something happens along the way and we find it just not useful, I think there'll be a market to sell it, to get it to a university or somebody. Definitely, anything with a campus-like setting would be an ideal place for it if it doesn't work out. But that's the goal.
Are you folks looking forward to using this?
Well, definitely, one that I wanted to do before was for Don Quinella to do our,
Yes.
to go out there and find out what we need to do for our MS4 program. I wanted it to do like Karen was working on projects with repairing buffers like at Smedley, and just to be able to haul the mulch with it as opposed to, because, yeah, you couldn't get there.
Dragging it downhill, right?
Yeah, with the truck was, we put the trailer down there, but it wouldn't be one thing that I'd want to have anybody going up and down that hill.
Right.
Get to it. And you can definitely go off the trails to see what needs to be done and maintained along the
Yeah.
trails, which the county is not doing right now. They don't have a routine.
They don't have maintenance thing.
They don't have, if somebody complains about something, they go out,
Right.
but they don't have. it.
Right, they're
After a
incident
storm
related.
event, they should really go out and patrol them.
Yes.
This will be able to, hopefully we'll be able to let them do the trails and check them.
Rather than relying upon somebody who might or might not know what to do if they find something wrong.
Right.
That would-
The ATV come with a trailer to transport it from place to place.
Well, yeah, we eventually, once we get the dimensions and get the order approved, and it's gonna take a while to get this, the unit assembled.
Yeah.
So then we will go with the trailer, which I'm speculating will be in the neighborhood of like $4,000 to buy a trailer too. And that would, but I want to coordinate with parks because I don't necessarily need to be just functional for the trailer. I mean, for the UTV alone, there's other things that we can transport as well.
That's a good idea.
They have 3 trailers down there now, but 3 of them, they don't want on the road. They're that bad, so,
Not exactly through the colors that.
yeah.
Movement on this part, so that's good.
Yes, the movement, and it's already been through it's now in the hands of our purchasing department. Move forward
Oh, finally, it just seems like it's been hanging fire for a long time.
since April of last year.
April last year, right, exactly. Thanks so much for that update. Now, I see that we have gotten, and you mentioned here that the annual work plan is available for everybody in town. Reading it, making sure that everything is included, right?
Right. I think we just need a motion to approve it. It hasn't been altered that much. There's the alterations are in highlighted
Okay.
form, but they're very minor.
Okay, good. So, I will entertain a motion to accept the annual work plan minutes. Right?
Yes. Mhm.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Randy. Do I hear a second? Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, this is good news too. Approval of petition for Sustainability Commission to become a nominating organization. This is good news.
At the last meeting, the board approved the submission of that petition after being approved at the Sustainability Commission meeting, and State Conservation Commission reviewed that application and approved it, and they are now one of our nominating organizations for Conservation District Directors.
Good. I'm sure there'll be people who are widely interested in what we're doing, maybe more people in there
Yes,
as well. That'll be good.
How many organizations are nominating?
14.
14.
Yeah, and some of them aren't very active, but yeah.
Yeah, right. And sometimes we have to kind of be the person to remind them that they have to do it or whatever.
The active ones that we have are Chester, Delaware Farm Bureau, the Delco Anglers, Darby Creek, Chester Ridley Creek, and Chester, Delaware Home Builders, so the active numbers.
No, there's another one that's
The Chamber of Commerce one?
They are, yes, they are too.
They didn't really.
I'm sorry.
Forward it seems to me.
They've,
They haven't been.
they've come through when, in the past, when the county council wanted to nominate somebody that,
Right.
yeah.
But,
They sort of relayed the message.
Right. So this is good. So we don't need a motion or anything about that, right? We already did this, got it moving, right?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
that's they just to notify the board that it's been
That is
approved.
actually went through again. Okay, the Agricultural Conservation Assistance Program. Tell me about it.
Yeah, this one has me perplexed on what actually the best way for us to proceed. It's an opportunity that we would have access to $300,000 to distribute on a very fast timescale, $100,000 a year, and everything has to be allocated and spent and on the ground by 2026. I met with Chester County, and they are willing to enter into a delegation agreement with us to do the work. They have not, we were asking them to give me a scope of work and what they would be willing to do and deliverables that they would produce. They have not been able to do that yet because they're still working on their own plan for this delegation. The draft delegation agreement is out. We have a meeting again tomorrow with the State Conservation Commission to review some changes. They always make changes, but one of the changes that is putting a fly in the ointment for a lot of conservation districts is that they're going to require, they wanted to require for every farm to have 35-foot stream buffers in. And that has not ever been required before. And now it's a sort of a, might be losing a lot of willing to lose that much land, especially if they were trying to put in some facility next to their barns, which were always built historically next to the streams.
Yeah, right.
That's the problem. It's not that they don't want to do it for crop fields, it's mainly the farmland, where the barns are actually located now, causes them the biggest problem, I think.
So there can't be any kind of special treatment cut out for the building.
We don't know, so hopefully that's what we'll learn a little bit more about tomorrow.
Time will tell.
I've heard some arguments and read some
Okay.
arguments on back and
Right,
forth.
right.
Yeah, well, and then some of them are from even the bigger districts like Lancaster, who has, I think there was $16 million they're getting to do this in the same. Chester County's in the neighborhood, 5 to 6 million. We're at 300,000. But there was a few counties like that. Pike County, I did talk to Michelle Long up at district manager in Pike County. They are not proceeding with the delegation agreement, but they're hoping to open a partial delegation agreement. In other words, to assist with the program. Because the law states that if we don't do it, the State Conservation Commission has to. Now, whether they would be. They also, if they can't spend it, then they just give it to somebody else. So in other words, they can say that they're doing it, but then they don't do it.
But they're hiding it.
Yeah, but yeah. So, but I would think the biggest avenue, I think, for us would be, if we don't do anything, would be to promote the program and try to get people to apply.
Right.
And then that would force the hand in it. But I'm hoping Chester County will come up with something because we worked together with them on the ACT program. I just didn't want to overwhelm them when they have this big $5 million to get rid of too. So we will be talking more with them, and I'll share that with you when they come up, probably at our next meeting, when more to say.
Thanks for making us aware of this. Alrighty, next up is new business. PCNR planting opportunity grant. Karen.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do my best to summarize this. I was supposed to have a meeting with the person that contacted us about this, but it got postponed. So I took the information that she gave me and tried to summarize it here. So DCNR contracts funding opportunities for planting projects throughout the state with the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy. So we were contacted by someone from the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy through DCNR about a property in Media that backs up to a tributary of Rocky Run in the Chester Creek watershed. They're interested in doing a riparian buffer planting there. The way that this would work, they were asking us if we want to be a partner in this somehow. So the way that it would work if we were to go ahead and be a partner is we would be a pass-through organization for the funding. So they would give us the funding to then pay for the full cost of the riparian buffer planting on this person's property. We would also hold a 5-year landowner agreement with this landowner. And that would, I briefly scanned the landowner agreement. It's pretty standard for like a DCNR planting grant. We've had them before through our multifunctional buffer grants, so I'm kind of familiar with that. But that would require us to check in every so often on the project during those 5 years, as requested by the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy. So we would kind of be their local eyes on the ground for this project. The cost that they would reimburse for a project is $6,000 an acre. And it sounds like this particular property is just around an acre. Let's see, and we can be as involved as we want to be. So we would do, that as far as on the ground implementation, we can be involved as we want to be. So it sounds like they could provide the support for the planting on site. I think that's something that I have to check with the person whenever I meet with her. But it's an opportunity that was brought to us. We've worked with other conservation districts. It's the first time I've heard of this funding opportunity as a pass-through agreement and a little more, it's not exactly a grant.
Yeah.
But similar.
Right.
So I just
So we
wanted
get
to,
something out of it, we owe them something in the sense of range, stewarding this.
Mhm.
That's nice.
yeah,
It's almost like partnering with Delaware County, the natural resource, DCNR.
Right. Well, that's interesting. So
Yeah.
how did they come up with this name? I mean, how did this happen?
I don't know.
The
Apparently,
person might say, oh gee, I'd like to have a buffer in my yard.
I don't know.
Well, I believe it's probably the website.
Yeah, they probably approached DCNR asking for trees
Right.
on their property. And then apparently this partnership between DCNR and the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy has been going on for decades. I don't know if this particular program has been going on that long, but that partnership has been going on for a long time.
DCNR is focusing on reforestation, I believe, as opposed to repairing buffer. So this isn't associated with repairing buffer. This is or is it?
The property is on a stream. There's a stream that runs through the property. So,
Yeah, okay.
I mean, they kind of go hand in hand.
As a combo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so multifunctional.
Right.
But I just wanted to bring it up and, say there's another opportunity for us to do tree planting, partner with someone new.
I guess the idea is whether the board is okay with us trying this out and partnering with these, basically DCNR, but Western Conservancy is the contractor for DC. Affordable weird thing.
I did my best.
Yeah, exactly. So it's certainly an opportunity for us to get involved in this and maybe some of their neighbors.
Yeah, and like I said, it's the first time I've heard about it. So, it sounds like it's worked with other conservation districts. And then I think I'm meeting with this person on Thursday, so I'll have more information then.
It sounds like a good idea. Anywhere we can get trees is good.
Yeah.
Is that the main benefit, is the trees or the?
I don't know. I haven't been to the site. So I don't know if there's stream bank erosion. It looks like it's a headwater. It looks like it's a headwater stream like, so
That's
it's,
even better.
yeah.
And Rocky Run is one of our few high quality streams in the county, so that's beneficial for that purpose. It also has reproducing trout as well. So that's another reason why it's special to try to have some of these type of projects done in that watershed.
It's like a chance to do big need or something.
Yeah, and it is on a residential property, so like you said, maybe neighbors can pay attention.
Exactly.
You can do some work.
Yeah. It's pretty.
I mean, like I said, they say we can be as involved as we want to be, so when we get more information, I can gauge it, see, what their timeline looks like, what kind of on the ground support they could give us and the homeowner and go from there. But as far as holding the landowner agreement and the pass-through funds, I don't think that would be too cumbersome.
Thank you. So does the board feel like this is a good opportunity? We have to go over it.
No, we're not doing the actual program now, but just so we're proceeding down that path.
Right, we're pursuing this opportunity. Great. Thank you. Okay, here, more trees.
More trees.
10
million more
10
trees.
million trees. Good idea to me.
So this program I brought up a couple of times, we've been trying to figure out how to get involved while us not dedicating all of our resources and time to the program. I've heard that it can be very time consuming for the administration and ordering and site visits and tracking trees and all that. So we were approached by DCBA, who has ordered trees from this program through an organization out in Altoona, Pennsylvania. So they connected us with that group who places orders for organizations throughout the whole city. And they are looking for host sites. If you order more than 1,000 trees through the program, they will deliver them to your site for free. So we have an opportunity to be a host site and to tell people around here about the opportunity to order free trees, and they will be delivered here for pickup for people who order the trees. And I'm gonna need some help with unloading and organizing and labeling trees, so I think we'll have
And-
volunteers to do that.
We're not really sure from what Karen was telling me that how many people might order or how many trees they can grow into.
Right, well, can organizations order?
Yep, yeah, just about anyone can order trees.
They are coming in not pots, but flats, I guess.
Lots of 25 seedlings, so I think they're like,
They could be pretty tiny.
yeah, they'll be very small trees. I think they're about this, like in a square, they're 9-inch by, and 3-inch by 3-inch pots.
What varieties of trees?
All different kinds of native trees. I'm not entirely sure what the list has. And we are a lower priority county. The program is Chesapeake Bay specific, but it is the statewide program. So they prioritize counties in the Chesapeake Bay. And then outside you get on lower priority. So we're priority 4, which is the lowest.
Right.
Yes.
This morning.
So being priority 4, if an organization places an order for 20 trees of specific species, they might not get that many, and they also might not get the exact species that they,
Right, exactly.
but they're free trees, so
Exactly.
can't be too picky, I guess. And then that also comes with stakes and tubes. So you're protected from the tree. Those have to be picked up, but someone already volunteered to do that.
Oh, good.
Yep.
It seems like a way.
Yeah, the only problem would be is that, it's the unknowns of how many is gonna be here. And making sure that people that ordered them come pick them up, because
Right.
then you don't wanna have trees here that you have to keep watered. You don't have
This,
the,
the staging site right here.
for delivery, yeah. That's what the ask is.
So
If we run a, it's not on the scale, but a tree pickup in Radnor, and people come and they want to take more than they ordered,
okay,
always.
yeah, I'm thinking
So
that might
that's a
happen too.
thought. Yeah, right,
It has happened where people don't pick up their trees.
yes.
So if we have leftover trees, I have a feeling we won't have a hard time distributing them.
Oh,
Because
no, I
they're
don't
free.
think so. And we have used them in the parks, or along trails or whatever to kind of, bolster our tree canopy.
Mhm.
This is the first time we've done this, or has
Need that height.
it happened before?
This is the first time we'll be doing this. So it'll be a learning curve.
When I first started with the district for years, we did a seedling sale. And we would order bundles of 10, bundles of bare
Oh,
root
wow.
seedlings.
Bare roots.
Yeah, they're 20, some order bundles of 25. And we'd have like 600 orders and the people would come to pick them up in their pickup trucks. They didn't realize how big they are. So yeah, there was a lot of things, but yeah, we had to go down to Columbus, New Jersey to a nursery down there to pick them up. It was a big, the problem why we gave it up eventually is one, the nursery groups in Pennsylvania, PA Nurserymen Association, didn't like the idea that we were doing it because some of the districts are still doing it, are getting into selling fruit and nut trees as well as evergreens. And so they asked us not to do it. We did turn over the program to a gentleman, Shortwood Wildlife Association. And he ran it for a few years. Unfortunately, he passed away.
Oh.
But yeah, we have some experience with this. We used to do it most here in the Eastern Park too. And we did it very, took all our leftovers and planted them. And then they mowed them down.
Oh, no.
They did, yeah, some big communication problem, but there are still trees there that survived that and they can see.
Because they've been run over.
Connected with the Tree Vitalize or?
This is a separate program. It's Keystone 10 Million Trees through the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. Yep.
There's the Tree Tenders program that's sort of stem off from True Vitalize and
Right.
PHS. And through them, you can probably find volunteers to help if you want.
Yeah, we were thinking, the people that contacted me, 2 of them are master watershed stewards, so I think they'll probably get involved and I think we're gonna be responsible for unloading the truck, so I'm gonna ask the police department to help with that.
Right.
The other thing I wanted to mention about this program, since the orders are gonna be placed through this organization in Altoona, people and organizations from outside of Delaware County may be placing orders through them and then determine that this is the closest host site to pick up.
Right, so we may be a pass through in some way.
Mhm. So it creates access for Delaware County people to come pick up trees, but also people in the general southeast Pennsylvania region. So we're gonna see how it goes this year and then work out any of the kinks for next year.
It seems like a good idea to me. I don't know
Yeah.
what everybody else thinks. Do your training, what do you?
I think I want to be involved. I'm wondering if you'd be interested in a second site, like I have the ability to keep them watered and cared for if we needed a
Okay.
distribution area,
Okay.
like, because some people,
Great.
This is looking better.
Yeah.
but I would
No, it's a
like,
great
I would
idea.
like some to plant myself.
Okay, I can send you a link to sign up
Right.
through this organization and then, one of the reasons that we're having it here is because I'm gonna need to be here.
Right.
So that people can come by during the day and pick up. I'll probably be here in the evening, probably on a Saturday,
Right,
just to make
so
it.
that may be kind of a burden on you, but maybe you could share it.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
maybe somebody else would be able to help in
Right.
some way with it, I would think.
I think so, probably, especially on a Saturday.
When is the distribution of them?
We are gonna shoot for delivery, halfway through March. So I think we said March 14th is the earliest date of delivery possible, but that could be probably anytime that week. And then I'm thinking giving people a 3 or 4 day window to come pick up their trees.
This is March.
Yes.
Excellent. Well,
And they,
may get more contacts.
Okay, yeah, I'm anticipating, because there's gonna be so many trees, anticipating a lot of action and people coming and going. Gearing up for it, I should
Much
say.
better in here than some street corner, you know?
Yes. We've got the space.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah.
We do have approval from the Parks Department to have
Oh,
that
good,
here, so.
yes. I would think they would like it too, because they may get some extra trees out. Right? Good. Good how these things just pop up.
Yeah.
Exciting. I think everybody's beginning to realize that we do need. trees.
Yep.
Excellent. All right, thanks.
No, it's the Chesapeake watershed, but we're
Chesapeake.
not in the watershed. so-
Yeah, it's, to be honest, I don't know exactly who is funding the purchase of these trees because they are coming from nurseries like Octoraro. So I don't know exactly who is funding it, but Chesapeake Bay Foundation is the one who is administering the program. And it is a statewide program that's being
I'm
administered.
thinking it's a DCNR program, the grant at
You could be
the Chesapeake
right.
Bay, so they gave it a priority.
Right.
Projects in Chesapeake Bay, but they couldn't restrict other ones because it's a statewide program.
Right.
Exactly.
That's the kind of.
Yeah, so
I
that.
feel.
But there's like certain, I don't know exactly what priority 1 is or priority 2, but once you get outside of the Bay watershed, that's when they're lower on the priority. And they used to have a 5th priority that was, priority 4 was like, metropolitan areas like Philadelphia and surrounding within like a 10-mile radius or something like that. But then they got rid of the 5th priority, which was all the other ones.
Right.
So now priority 4 is
I
the
think all the developed areas would need trees a lot.
yeah,
Could understand why that would be a lower priority.
right,
Maybe a lower opportunity to survive.
right.
I don't know. Yeah, right. But this is really good. It'd be very exciting, big green tree.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, Karen. Yeah, that was good. Okay, next up, my favorite thing, booster contest.
Yep, so the theme is, sometimes it's soil or trees, but this year it is one water. So, not quite sure how what type of posters we'll see this year. But I just wanted to get this on the agenda
Yeah.
for us to approve the budget. I took into account, last year we did do a mailing, so probably maybe do like a hybrid this year, with mailing and emails. So I did take account, I believe postage is going up in this next week. So knowing that they would be mailed after January, I put that into account.
Mhm.
And I did put, something on here for the award ceremony. We did not have one last year, so, we'll see how many participants we have and what the status of
Right.
everything is.
Exciting, though. I do love these things. Especially the judges. See what people, but one water seems like something like, you would get a bottle of one water. or-
Yeah.
Seems like a slogan.
And usually they have a pretty fun logo, but it's pretty basic this year, so.
A big drip.
Yeah, it's in the packet. I mean, it's not a color either, but, you know.
Oh, yeah. That's so descriptive. We'll know exactly what to expect.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll probably see a little bit of everything.
Exactly, yeah. It's funny how some people just run away with it and other people get little.
Yeah.
Basically, the theme is selected by the National Association of Conservation Districts. So that's, it's national. So if we have a winner in the state here, and it goes to the state, and the state has a winner, then they send it to national. So we've had some national
Yeah, we
winners.
have some had-
Yeah,
we have a
right.
big strike.
Yeah, we had one go on this past year
Yeah,
for
right.
twenty twenty-two, so. Yeah, so we would just need to approve, may have a motion to approve the budget.
Oh, okay, well, I will entertain such a motion. Anybody want to do?
I'll make a motion.
All right, thanks, Ray.
Well, second.
All right, thanks, Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
I can't
Aye.
imagine. It's such a wonderful program. Yeah. And I like your hair that way.
Thank you.
Okay.
How many participants do you generally get?
I think like last year we got approximately 30 some, which is definitely on the low end. Some years we got over 100 because we would have some teachers have their whole class participate. So we would get maybe, 2 or 3 classes of 20 some submissions.
Maybe you should send them to the art.
Yeah, that's who I typically address them to, is the art teachers, and
But I would
then,
be more anxious to showcase their wares in some way than the science teacher.
right, and then like for the high schools, I'll just send it generally to like the science department. I don't do each teacher,
Right,
but I'll
okay.
focus on the art teacher.
Right, exactly.
So. And then we try to generally update our contacts, because, you know.
They come and go.
Yeah, especially the past few years, so
Right,
a lot of
exactly.
people retiring.
It's good, so it's still going on.
Still
which is the
going
best
on,
part.
that's right, yep.
Right. So thanks, Michelle.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mhm. Okay, statements of financial interest, YA. Everybody gets one of these? Fill it out.
Yeah, every director is required to fill one out, and you can stick it in a brown envelope, seal it, and we just don't look at them. We just put them in your file. And then if anybody from the public requests to see them, then we'd have to open. But in all my time here, no one's ever made that request, so.
Not exactly exciting news to, this is not a drill down on your finances. So that's good, so everybody remember to fill them out, and you'd like to have them back by?
I think it's on there, April, usually the first of April. Well, rather than, I will look into that
Yeah,
and
right.
get it back to you when the date is, the deadline.
Thanks, Ed. Okay. So do we have any report from Beth? I wanted to go to her, it's kind of like an open house. But
Oh, yeah.
I did get a quick one here, it was kind of interesting to meet all the people who do this, but I had to go to Jen. I don't think we have a report from her doing.
No, we did not.
And Linda is still acting.
Yes, they do have a replacement
Okay.
that is going through the vetting process now. I don't know what that all entails, but hopefully they will be on board very soon.
Okay. So we'll be more up to date with whatever DEP is up to.
We did get a copy of from Robert Page, who is the regional, I don't even know his title.
Group manager, I just had to tell someone that yesterday,
Okay.
that's,
And he sent us a copy of the report, but there was nothing in there that needed action from us.
Right. Okay. Good. Right. Well, next up, Ed, you're it.
You have a copy of my report, and it was a short month because of my vacation schedule. I had a vacation
Nice
between
vacation.
Christmas and New Year. It was nice to stay home and relax.
Exactly.
And we also had the 2 holidays in there. That's traditionally when I like to take the vacation, because it's not very active in the office.
And your grandkids who don't have to go to school and they can hang out with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And this was the first year we could do that because no one was COVID related, so, which was very nice. Anything else on there that anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer, but we worked with the UTV purchase. We got, I worked with getting the director's appointments in on time to the State Conservation Commission, and also worked with Francine Locke, did a presentation to County Council on the activities of the Sustainability Commission. So before that, I had to prepare some information for her as well. That presentation, she did a very fine job in promoting what all of us as a team in the sustainability unit are doing, and it was very well received by County Council.
Excellent, very good. I'm glad to hear that.
As for erosion and sediment control, we've got a bulk of emergency reviews. There was 6 of them. I was in this weekend and did 3 of them. So we'll get caught up here. There's a few that are overdue, not very by much, but they're overdue, and hopefully we'll get this down again
Right.
by next month.
Okay. That it for you, Ed?
Yes.
Thank you. Next up is Michelle.
right. So we've seen a little bit of a slowdown in new permits coming in and just catching up on the notice of termination reviews. have been getting some complaints. Two of the complaints on my list are ones sites that we are already aware of, just only one new complaint. And then the other thing, I don't think Ed mentioned this, but both, myself and Ed and Karen, we went to Chester County and they gave us a little overview of the Practice Keeper software, which, we potentially will be, well, Karen is actively using.
Will be.
Will be actively using.
Still working on it.
Yeah, so that was nice just to get a feel, they went through everything on the screen of
You'll
the
get to see-
program.
You'll get
Yeah.
the same message together.
Right,
So it will
exactly.
take out-
Yep,
Basically, Practice Keeper is a GIS format that could allow us to track our route and sediment control plan in a GIS format. We cannot do that right now because we don't track parcel numbers. We would have to do that in the future. We'd have to revise our application form to have that information, or we can relate it to parcels or do it manually, one of the two, but we'll have to find that out. We'll have to build on the new stuff coming in as opposed to the old stuff. I'm working with IT to try to get the scanning done of all those boxes out there. They have an agreement with planning, the company that does it for scanning, and we're hoping that we can piggyback on that. That was turned over to the purchasing director to reach out to the IT and try to work with them now. But it's been going on since a long time, since September, when we found out we had the money to do something. So hopefully the database is another thing that we need to get updated, because ours is from 1994, that I put that together. So hopefully we'll have maybe Practice Keeper would be a way to do it. And I think Chester County, it's done on a statewide basis for districts. It's not an off-the-shelf type thing where you have to make everything work. So it's actually been modified for conservation district and the NPDS program. It doesn't do the flexibility that I can do with database. In other words, I can do searchable and set up my own reports. It's kind of limited in that way, but the value of how many times a year we do that type of search, not that great. So now I just gotta get IT to look at it. It's kind of hard because I guess we're still not up there on that priority level. So.
We're not high priority.
Yeah, no.
This is happening.
Yeah, so.
Such a nice group. I love it.
But, so we're working on that. That's good. And it has to be done because the money that we have available for us to do some of this contracting work has to be spent by June, so. And I've been telling them that since September, so.
and that's all I have to report. Okay, good.
So, I mean, I don't really have much to report, like Michelle had mentioned, it's slowed down a little bit. I had two new projects that I reviewed. They were incomplete, but I think they resubmitted in that last month. And they were both, complete, deemed complete by the beginning of this month. And I just have a new project that's starting up in Bethel Township, but that's the only news I really have to report. If anybody has any questions? Bethel Ridge is a subdivision. Yeah.
But that means- Are they building here?
I think it was like 6 home subdivision.
Uh-huh.
I could be wrong about the number. I can't remember off the top of my head.
But it was a residential.
Yeah, residential.
Any other comments?
Not for me.
Okay. Thanks, Doug.
So I was able to deem 2 projects complete and I issued 1 permit. And this week or next week, I plan on going out on some inspections by myself.
That'll be good fun.
Yeah.
Well, you can always contact my people. That's always a good thing. Thank goodness for cell phones. Every time I see an old movie where they're on cell phones, they can. It's the opportunity. But thanks, and congratulations on going outside. Okay, next up is Karen.
And there's a few things I wanted to highlight besides what I already talked about. For the low volume road program, they started a new stream crossing policy. And in order to do stream crossing projects in your county, you have to be certified. So I attended the stream crossing training series, which was about 6 days of training. It was very intensive, very technical. If we were to ever do a stream crossing training, I would need a lot of help. The stream crossing training was really cool. We did actually get to go in the stream and do measurements, and understand, why they changed their stream crossing policy. And it was very helpful, but I don't know if we're ever going to do a stream crossing project. because
It basically eliminates culverts. They don't want little round culverts. They want everything. They want open bottom culvert, not a bridge, but an open bottom culvert that's as wide as the stream channel.
Right.
Because what they're having with the culverts is that the culverts actually act like a fire hose. So when you have a flood event, the erosion down below everybody's culverts is causing more damage to the stream. So they want to promote the idea, and they won't fund anything but these type of replacing the culvert with these arch culverts. Span the stream, the same width of the stream. It is a good idea, except they're gonna be very expensive, and
And time.
since we only have $80,000, the likelihood of us ever getting a project funded is limited. So-
Yeah, the other requirement in there besides making the culverts wider, they used to promote just restoring stream bed material inside the culvert, but now they want to see continuous stream bed, a continuous stream bed profile. So you have to restore the slope and the characteristics of the stream bed according to how it is upstream and downstream. So like I said, it was really cool to see and learn how to measure that and how to install a project like that. But I don't know that we would ever do a project like that with the amount of funding that we get. But it's a possibility now because I'm certified.
And it'll help us if people upstream do it for us in some way, right?
Yeah, and it's good to know too, if we get any questions about stream crossings. We see stream crossings done for other programs and other projects throughout the county, so now we understand why they want to do these particular stream crossings and with the new measurements and policies, so. we can
So
promote
it's
that.
also something to be aware of, that the engineering community is going to get more involved, because if they started it here, it's going to propagate into the 105 general permitting program and then the permitting program eventually.
There are a lot of stream crossings in Montgomery County. It's, at least near where I live. Just it's okay sometimes, not so much of it.
Yeah, you see a lot of streams washing over roads, and that would most likely be an eligible project.
Right.
They don't want to see that happen.
So you learned a lot.
I learned a lot, yes, in 6 days of training.
I'm so interested.
Yep. Besides that, so back to the Keystone 10 Million Trees Program, under other watershed activities, I assisted a master watershed steward with a tree planting at Kent Park. He had, I think, like three dozen trees that people did not pick up, and he had to figure out what to do with them. So we ended up planting them in the field at Kent Park. So that was all different kinds of.
They're all native species.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, so that's good.
It's getting thick with meadow, trees and
Yeah.
plants.
So that, yeah, that
That's
whole,
gonna have to be a minimum. He didn't plant them in the repairing rock, he planted them in the rock.
throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
So that'll eventually turn into a meadow too. That's unused field, so
Right.
it makes sense to.
Just make sure no one moves.
Right. They are surrounded by tubes, so hopefully they see them. And the last thing that I wanted to mention, I worked with the sustainability office to develop a grant application to DEP's environmental education mini grant program for their sustainability conference. So the funding that we requested would not fund the entire conference, but would certainly help. So we submitted an application for that earlier in the month, and that would be, because of the timing of the grant, if it's awarded, it would support the 2024 conference. That's all that I wanted to highlight in my report.
Excellent. What is this meeting for the Don Guanella? Is there a public meeting coming in for?
It's this Saturday,
Saturday, that's what I thought. So if anybody's interested in that, I think it might be really
9 to noon.
fine to me, right? I wrote it in my phone, but I left my phone.
There's a consultant team, but the planning department and myself is working with
Oh,
them.
good. That's an interesting opportunity. This whole new landscape and vista will be really exciting.
The largest county park.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that great?
Yeah. You request information from Antle, she requested information from you.
Oh, she had called me a while ago to talk about the master plan, and she just wanted to get me and Ed involved somehow.
Yeah, we have been having meetings with that county team of department directors and others, but
Okay.
I think we realized the conservation district wasn't on it.
Okay.
Maybe that's why she reached out to you.
So I was just following up with her to see how we can get involved.
Yeah, it did have a presentation, and they're probably gonna have some boards at the public meeting about the environmental resources features of the
Okay.
park.
Yeah, I plan to be there at the open house, so.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that you need from the district for Saturday, let me know.
yeah, I did just submit to her a list of names of county staff that would like to help facilitate, if you want to be on that too. Good, but we're just attend, whichever you want.
For Saturday?
Yeah,
Yeah, if you let me know, I'll be there, so I can either be there as a resident or, county staff.
yeah, if you're a resident, you can just come in and leave, you don't have to be there the whole time.
Good point.
But that's the whole Saturday.
But if you could send me more information, I'll take a look at it.
Things are happening. Other communities. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's just lurking in the way. Okay, well, I think I've hit everybody, haven't I? Excellent.
Yes.
And I will now, unless anybody has any other news to report, consider motion to.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, right on it, it's good job. Second. Okay, you know everyone's in favor, right? Thank you very much, thanks very much for coming, and see you next month, and next month we will be, what's our meeting next? Seven, okay, so.
The statement of so financial. Great.
Alrighty, thanks so much for coming, have a good month.
I'd say it's been a lot of like, yeah.
Give me my key on somewhere.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, aloha.
There's a lot of snow.